Hello, viewers. I've played Hyper Knights about 2 hours now, and it's a strategy action game.
This game is in early access. Everything is subject to change. Viewer awareness advised.
If you really want to get the gist of this game, you want to think that it's combining Mount and Blade and Dynasty Warriors. The overworld map is kind of like Mount and Blade. I feel like I'm stretching this a little bit. And the combat in the actual levels is more like Dynasty Warriors. There's different nodes on the world map that you move to try and defeat like the town. That's something that does happen in Mount and Blade, but this is much simpler, much simplified. And the combat in the game, you press these button combinations to hack and slash your way through a bunch of guys. I mean, you can kill probably almost 100 guys per mission. It depends on how many's there, that sort of thing. So it is you are hacking, slashing your way through those levels. So, I mean, I found the gameplay to be very compelling. I beat the game in 2 hours. I really enjoyed building the armies, and you have to move, like I said, you have to like build up your army and then move to the points and then have these battles. And I thought it was compelling to try and take over the land. I really enjoy taking land over from somebody. But if you lose a battle, you have to go back to, you just lose your whole army and you have to go back to a previous node and take guys from that. And you just kind of wait while the troops build up there and then take them. Luckily, there is a speed up button, and the game, when you die in the levels, the game automatically speeds up and fast forwards, so it doesn't waste too much of your time, but you still will be waiting. I don't really like waiting in games. I understand why it's there. It's just, I don't even know what else I would change it to. I know that's not really productive feedback. I'm sorry, but at least there's a speed up thing. And I guess you could buy troops if you had the gold. I really do appreciate that there's a speed up button and that the game does that. I just don't like wasting my time, so at least there's that. I didn't ever feel like I was in danger of losing, though. So on the whole aspect of taking those guys, you lose your army, you die, or you lose a battle, and you have to go back to a previous node, take troops from there. But I never was like worried about enemies coming over and taking back that node or taking back that section. I don't know if that's in the game. I just was never in danger, it felt like, of losing. So I could have probably lost a whole bunch of battles and no one would ever take back their territory that they took from me already. I'm not really sure. It just doesn't make the game very challenging, and that part of it wasn't fun. I like being nervous about maybe losing or possibly like losing the battle or worrying about what's going to happen, stuff like that. I mean, there's no point in playing a game that's just so easy, right, that you're not going to lose. It's just inevitable that you will win. What's the point? I mean, just check it off, right? There's no challenge. I like a challenge. Hopefully either that's something that's going to come in, or maybe there could be like another difficulty level, something added that would make the game more challenging. Having the combat aligned to a sequence of buttons, though, that's pretty fun. I think it's a really good idea, and it makes it more interesting than the hack and slash combat I was talking about, Dynasty Warriors. You have to press like most of them are XXX or YYY on an Xbox controller, or YXY. I think those are like the three. And they're, it's fun, it's good, but there's no lock on. So most of the time I just ended up button mashing. So it's the same kind of thing, though. So while I think it's a really good idea, I wish you would lock onto a target and then have to complete that one. I'm thinking something like a typing game where the words come down from the top and you start typing tired and it starts that word and you don't switch to a different word until you finish that one. So it would be really nice to be able to start a combo and then not switch to a different one until you finish that one, like a nice lock on, something like that, because it didn't, like, the combat doesn't feel very flowing. It just feels like I said, I'm butt mashing and trying to get through this whole section. It's just not, it doesn't feel great. I like the idea. I like where it's going, but it's just not there yet. Hopefully it can be where you have to defeat one guy at a time unless you back off and get out of a certain range or something. Or maybe there's like a lock-on button. That would be nice. Because I really want to jump from guy to guy to defeat them. Like I want to feel like a badass when I get a button combination right, and then I slaughter 5 enemies in a row. So you go from one guy and it's like XYX, and then you go to the next guy and it's, you know, YYY, and then you can like lock on and just quickly move around the battlefield and slay them all. That would be awesome for me. It would make you feel so good to complete that button combination, or have more challenging button combinations as the combo, as like the killing goes on. So, you know, you defeat one guy and then it's like you bump up the amount of buttons you need to press, because only having the 3 buttons, I guess, is a way to get out of not having the lock on, but it's not as much fun as it could be, I think. And hopefully maybe me talking about it now will give the developers some ideas to where to go. So there's a few other last complaints I had. I don't think the tutorial's really good enough right now, because I still have no idea how money is generated in this game. I know you can get it from winning battles, and I know you can get it passively, but I think there's the yellow dots that are in the castles and towns. I think that means money, but I don't understand. There's like caravans. How does this all line up? I'm not sure. Also, the art for the guys is not clear. When you look at the art for the faces and like the guy you're selecting, it's like the edges aren't crisp. They're not, it's not clean. It's not totally clean and crisp. And while I'm playing on a 1440p monitor, maybe that's my issue. I just really wish it was a little bit higher quality. I know it's like really simple and silly, right? But it's very minor, but it really looks obvious to me when I look at it. And I was like, I almost just, you know, decided that this game was amateurish right off the bat, but it's not. So that really hurts your initial impression, I think. So, but I do think this game has potential. I did enjoy my 2 hours with it. And the game, according to the store page, is scheduled for a full release in May 2017. And they have a lot of good features listed on the store page, like scheduled to be implemented before the game comes out. I think that they have to complete that list, though. With this current game in its state, and if it was released, obviously this is early access, so they have to work on it, right? Or they're going to work on it. They must complete that list. I left a few things off of this video because I think that they're going to complete them. They're on that list, and I think the most important ones are you can hire knights in the game, and you need, you just hire them and then they roam. There's no upgrades for them. Having specific attributes, skills, and upgrades for them would be awesome. That's on the list, though. That's on their list. That's good. More maps, obviously, right? I mean, if it wasn't on their list of things to do, I would have complained about that. But they know that that's a problem. That's great. More defenses for your town. That's on their list as well. Another would be great feature for this. Very cool. So, in other words, I mean, you just gotta, the game needs to be fleshed out more. And that's the whole point of early access, right? So, I think it's got great potential. Well, if you watched this far, thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.